Alrighty. So before I start, I just want to say that we are running on a specific version of the game. So we're running on the Platinum Hits version, or the, what the the Japanese version, and we run on these versions well for the most optimal way because during the halfway point of the game, there's Forgotten City. There's like the game's a lot harder on the original release, so enemy placements are changed throughout the game. Bosses' health are different. So basically, yeah, it's easier to run, and it's faster as well. So I guess I will go ahead and start, and start our new game here on the red box here, and timer will start when I say go. So run will start in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So Joel, do you want to explain a certain little mechanic that we have in Blinx that makes us do the speedrun really well? All right. Oh, that's really good. All right. What if I turn it up? Turn up Discord? Talk? That seems to be odd. Let me have a... Where is it? There it is. Monitor off? Alright. Try now. Mute and output. Alright, try now. Huh, that is really weird. You think we planned this? Quick mods, what do we do? Yeah, we did set this up, and I made sure to set up the Discord thing, right? Try redoing the capture. Alright. Discord. Oh, that's... Okay. Alright, can we hear you guys now?
Hello? Can you hear us?
I can see the audio. Let me know if you need to adjust it. Is that all good, mods? Alright, so the levels are fine?
Whoop, whoop.
Alright, do we want to start over again, or do we just want to keep going?
I think you should probably reset. You should probably reset.
Okay. I need to change this now, because I can...
Alright, so I will introduce myself as Miku's taking care of things. So I'm Isnert. I've done a run of this game before. I've done some individual level runs. I consider myself pretty knowledgeable on this game. And yeah.
And then I'm F7, and I'm a proud spectator of this game. It's a steep difficulty curve that I have not yet attempted, but it's very fun to watch. So
it's a hard game.
It is
that's
a
for
hard
dang
game,
sure.
yeah. Not many people play this. Not many people can really complete it in one sitting. But I guess I'm here to showcase this to you today. All right.
Is your capture?
Yeah, it should be back to normal now.
You're good. You're good.
All right.
Sick.
All right, all right, here we go. So time will start. When I say go. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, here we go, Joel. Explain full diagonal movement.
All right. So basically, when you are playing this game with a regular controller on the original Xbox, it is only constrained to certain values when you hit diagonals on the controller. So let's say you hit like up and left, you have about 70% or so on up, and then 70-something% or so on left, which averages to a certain amount going up and left. It's slightly faster than like just straight left or straight up or down or right, but it is a little bit faster. However, if you get a third-party controller and you modify it so you can hit 100% when you hit a diagonal for both your cardinal directions. So like if you wanted to do left and up, you would get 100% on up and 100% on left. You just straight up go faster. This game doesn't normalize the speed of Blinx in that way. So yeah, you can just go really fast. Now, it doesn't only apply to the original Xbox, it applies to every console that you can play this game on. So Miku is using a controller modified to have better FDM, as we call it. Yeah, excuse me, as we call it, or fast diagonal movement. And yeah, so he will be doing that throughout the entire run. So if you think he's going faster than normal, you are not mistaken.
Yeah, it's a really weird sort of like bug slash glitch that's, you know, I think it's in games like Doom and stuff, where like if you move into like you know, like in a diagonal direction, you will go faster because it's combining like two inputs at the same time.
Yeah.
But
You could, I guess, even say the same thing about like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon,
Yeah.
kind of.
so the main part of this game is that you basically have a lot of time manipulation powers that you can use. So, Daph, it's your turn. What time powers do we have?
All right, so Mika will have them on the bottom of his screen from left to right. They are rewind, fast forward, pause, record, and slow. You gain these by picking up time crystals. If you have 3 out of 4 of the same color, you get 1 of them. And if you pick up 4 of the same crystal, you get 2 of those power-ups. You can also regain retries, which are on the top left of the screen, by picking up the little hearts. Some of these powers are more useful than others. Isner, do you mind saying which of these are we use and for what reason?
I'd love to. Yeah. So, the record is the most broken power up for speedrunning this game because you get a copy of yourself that can do a certain amount of actions, and you are invincible the entire time. And then the game will rewind back to the point where you started the record and then let you play normally while that record is also going. So it's like the recording of you playing as well as you doing whatever you want to do until that's over. And then fast forward is the second best one, where you basically can tank a hit for free while also moving twice as fast, while everything else in the world also moves really fast. But the whole thing about being able to tank that one hit and being able to do things as fast as you possibly can is just so useful for Miku during this run. And then every other time control is pretty cool, but yeah, those are definitely the best ones.
Yeah, those two are definitely record and fast forward. And
Oh, and you will see some crazy glitches. Do you do ATGs in this run at all, Miku?
not really, no.
Okay.
Maybe in 7.2 there will be a weird ATG that we can go over.
Yeah, we'll talk about it then. ATG is a another glitch that we'll get to later. It's pretty cool, so don't miss it.
Another really useful time control is rewind. That's also probably the third most used.
Oh, yeah.
The reason why it's the third most used is that it basically can do the same. It does the same job as pause and slow, where it basically just makes grabbing things easier. But the reason why is that when you pause an enemy in this game or use slow mo, the animations are slowed down, and the main part of this game is that you want to make sure that you kill enemies as fast as possible. Some enemies take more than one hit to kill, and when they get hit, you need to advance through all the animation, to get the second hit. But if you shoot an enemy while they're rewinded, then there's no real any time that's really affecting it, because if an enemy gets rewinded and then it gets shot, it goes back to the normal flow of time, which is kind of weird, but it is really good for just crowd controlling and stuff.
Yeah. Also, I noticed in chat, Silverblaze mentioned that they did a really good Blinx retrospective video. If you wanted more information, I also wanted to mention that if you did want to learn literally anything about the game, you can check out blinxthetimesweeper.com. Somebody owns that domain and has a ton of super good information about the game there. And you can also join the Blinx Discord if you want to learn anything about this game or the second game in the series. Well, the only 2 games in the series. If you want to learn anything about those, feel free to join or check out the website or watch Jenny's video. And yeah.
Well, I missed this god dang spiker. So usually you're supposed to rewind and then shoot the trash and then it'll hit the spiker. But you can miss, but it's not too big of a deal. It's like 10 seconds. we want to hit this roulette to get gold. So the main part about this game is that we want to make sure that we have enough gold to buy all the items in the shop, or all the like specific items that we need. So right now we're hoping to save up a lot of money to get a new sweeper by World 4, and like to buy some super bombs, which is about 5,500 gold minimum. But in the meantime, we're gonna buy something in the World 3 shop when we get there, and we will be buying basically like new sweeper capacity pack and a time holder. And the time holder basically allows you to hold more time powers, because right now we can only hold 3 max, but each additional time control holder we get, we can hold one additional time control.
So gold's picked up there's a slow trickle in the non-boss stages from both finishing with trash in your sweeper, and then also you can just pick it up in the world environment. But then here, Miku's on the second world's boss battle, and these will drop hundreds of gold on the ground. So this is really where he can build up his account, I guess, to use this later on in the run in order to buy, like you said, the extra time control slots and eventually more powerful trash to take out enemies with.
Yeah, so the bosses are like, they are the main like gold sources. Like the main levels is like, you know, we can get a bunch of gold from, but yeah, bosses, and even later in the run is when we get just thousands of gold. You'll see that, like, all that cool stuff later on. But right now we're in World 3, the first level. This is a gold chest right here. We open it, we get about a good amount of gold. It's one thing as well, gold is like RNG, and what I mean by that is that so the gold that comes out of things is usually predetermined, but there are 3 tiers of gold, like leveling. So, and these can amount to like different amounts of gold. So you could get 2 of the same shapes, like gold pieces, but if they are not like the same size, if one's bigger than the other, then it's going to be worth more. So these gold pieces are valued for small, which is the base value. Then there's the medium gold, which is about 3 times the value. And then there's the large gold, which is 5 times the value. You know, getting as much of the large gold that you can is is what we want. And we just went to the shop. We bought capacity, like sweeper pack and time control holder.
And so your sweeper now, you used to only be able to hold 5 pieces of trash. Now you can hold up to 10.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking gold and time controls. Both of these are planned, as Miko's kind of getting to, multiple stages in advance. That's part of why this game is difficult. Another part of it is we talked about the full diagonal movement. You'll notice as Miku's moving, in order to take the most optimal path through the stage, if he wants to hold diagonally on the stick, he has to turn his camera in order to get the full benefit in the right direction. Isner, as a beginner runner, probably got a good taste of that.
Yeah, it's hard. It's tricky to really manage it all the time. Luckily, the camera moves pretty quick, so it's not a huge issue most of the time. But you can't just like flick it like you're using a mouse or anything. It's a hard balance, but it's pretty fun. It's a neat movement system.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I don't really know many other games like it. Yeah, it's hard to get used to for sure.
Because well, there's a lot of jumping in this game that you got to do as well, and there's a lot of quick movements you got to do, from moving the thumbstick to the jump button, and some people are just like not used to that, so it can be very hard to adjust. And just moving in a diagonal direction only is also like quite jarring. Also, I'm gonna grab this to record here. Once again, planning ahead, because we're not going to be using the record. Yeah, we're going to be using it in the boss stage.
You'll notice later on in the stages, there is a lot of decision making that you have to make as you're running, where you have to choose like, okay, exactly what time controls I can grab because I only have so many slots, and oh, do I waste time or spend time getting this gold, or do I grab this instead, or do I do this? Do I have my trash in the right order? And it becomes a very complicated decision making like tree basically, where Miko has to make a lot of decisions really fast. Like in these early stages, you won't see it as much because he's just looking for a few specific things. But then as like the amount of variables increase, where he's like, oh, maybe I'm not having I don't have this time control for this stage, and I'm missing this amount of gold for this stage. How do I make that up? Stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's just getting into this game. It is what I think what Dav said. Yeah, it is very overwhelming at the start because there's a lot to to go through. The game is hard by itself, and then but adding
Yeah.
yourself these like sort of these goals that you need to achieve for getting a certain amount of trash, getting a certain amount of like time controls, having the right amount of money, making sure what shop visits you need to do. It's pretty crazy at first, but this I will say that this is probably one of this is my favorite game to run. It's also just one of the most like what's the word, satisfying games just to like complete because of how difficult it is.
Yeah. Also, I don't. Just to shout out the skip that you just did about like 20 seconds ago. That's a cool skip. It skips like probably like 15 seconds of doing a puzzle. No, more than that even. It's a very long puzzle. There's a lot of like cool skips in this game where it's just a quick hop, skip, and a jump per se, and you just don't have to worry about a huge puzzle or something
Yeah.
of the sort.
It's only possible through that extended
Fast diagonal
movement.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Oh yeah, somebody in chat shouted me out or called me out. It's full diagonal movement. I think it's the proper term that we use, but close enough.
It is fast.
It is fast. It is.
All right, so Misner, why did he just do this record right here?
Oh, great question. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. So he does the record because during the record, the boss will spill out a bunch of gold, and then as it replays here, it'll just spit out the same amount of gold again. So he just gets straight up twice as much gold. It's pretty crazy.
Oh man, over 1,000. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of low for this boss.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
No, it's alright. But that is pretty low for that boss. Usually you want to get like 1,300 or above. But I do
Also,
get extra
I
gold
just
in this run, so it's fine.
also that jump that Miku did right at the start is not intended.
Yeah.
You have to usually drop down as the intended way, and what he did instead is just jump completely backwards to where the game wanted him to go, hitting that tiny ledge. And if he accidentally collected that medal, which by the way, it's really easy to do, I can say from experience, if he did accidentally get that medal, it adds like another, 10, 12 seconds onto your time, because at the end of the stage, it'll be like, oh, dude, check out this medal you got. And we don't want that.
Yeah.
We want to finish the level as fast as possible.
That's really the only medal that you can pick up by accident, which is okay. Like, I'm glad that there's all the medals are out of place in this game, so it doesn't really bother you in an 80% run at least. Yeah, this level's a nightmare for casuals.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
It is absolutely. This is where I'll go in and say, 8-year-old me could not get past this level. It's just too much. Miku basically did a sweet sequence break at the start, and he's kind of doing the level backwards, and then he's also just raining bombs down on everything in order to take it out from afar. But crawling through this, yeah, no, not so fun.
Also, if it wasn't obvious, I do want to just kind of really point out that one of the big gimmicks of this game playing casually is using time controls to not only manipulate the enemies around you and yourself, but also the environment. If you noticed right at the end of the level, Miku uses a rewind to pull up the floor tile rock thingies. There is a lot of that if you play this game casually, and it's super cool. This game had a lot of advertising before its release, where it was advertised as the first fourth dimensional game, where you're supposed to be controlling time as the fourth dimension and whatnot. Pretty cheesy, but it was still pretty neat. You didn't see too many games with time control mechanics back then, with so many elements that you could manipulate with it too.
I think Miku just picked up his first shop trash of the game right here. Then with these are super bombs, and these are going to be very, very powerful as we go in. Want to talk more on that, isn't it?
Big bomb go boom. No. It has a really big radius, and it does how much damage per bomb, Miku?
It is 2.
Okay, so yeah. Default trash damage is 1 damage, and then these bombs do 2. And there's all the big trash do 2 as well.
Yeah.
Additionally, he used his 3 in a record, and then again playback happens, and then hey, you still have these bombs. Use the first one there. took the damage boost off the fast forward, and then he'll finish the stage with one, which means he'll get a little bit of gold back for it.
There we go.
Yeah, and Dale, would you like to explain how buying items in mass gives you a discount?
Yeah, so when you buy, well, one item, one ammo from the shop, so a super bomb will be 500 gold, usually. And if you buy two, it's supposed to be 1,000. But a weird thing in this game is that when you buy items in bulk, after the first item, there is a discount that's applied to all items after that, and it's 30%. So instead of 1,000 gold for two super bombs, it's actually 850. And then it's also really important that we bring back super bombs like to the end of the level if we can, which is also just like another mechanic where like if you bring back items at the end of a stage, you get gold for it. But with super bombs and spike bullets, you'll see later on, they give you much more gold if you bring those back. Well, trash is like a fraction, like maybe like 5 gold, 8 gold. Super bombs give you 250 gold each if you bring back. And what we can do is we can actually duplicate super bombs during the run sometimes. And then we can actually make profit from buying super bombs.
Stonks.
Literally. So, for time control wise, it's looking pretty good. I would like another rewind if that's possible. But it's not too bad. This is like the minimum that we want, which is nice. But this water spirit here can usually drop me a rewind here because it can drop I think it's 6
5 or 6 crystals, yeah,
or might be oh yeah, it's 5.
on your path.
There we go. There's our
Hey,
Hey.
all right.
Let's go.
just gonna get
Oh, and additionally, these little blue balls, that the dust turd is the name of the enemy. They're worth 100, so those are definitely worth picking up. Most of the ones in the run get picked up.
yeah. It's only when it's like later in the run where it's like we don't when we have super bombs, because super bombs will always be at like the start of your like sweeper pack, and if we pick up the the dust soda balls, then we can't usually keep it to the end of the level because we need to use those super bombs. There we go.
Also, if it wasn't obvious, Blinx is a time sweeper, and I'll explain the lore a little bit later when we have some time. But he is also using a weapon called a time sweeper. It's a bit confusing, but yeah, just keep that in mind. It's his occupation and his equipment.
Things will slow down here. No, we're through World 4. There are 8 worlds in this game, and we're only at about 18 minutes. These second half levels, they are much longer. They'll have tougher enemies. Make Miku's life a lot harder, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it is fun to watch. It's also fun
Yeah, I
to
like
play.
watching you suffer. No, I'm kidding.
That's literally the Blinx speedrunners. That's their shtick. Tempo of Lost Time is it's current world run right now. It's very demanding mechanically. It's not hard, say, but like just trying to do everything right, trying to do everything very optimal is itself difficult, but it's also very fun.
Good
It's
work,
not only
Miku.
It's not only mechanically demanding; it's very mentally demanding as well.
Miku did a neat little trick there. So certain enemies can shoot trash at you. These octoballoons and those dust turtles can shoot it at you. And what Miku did there was he's able to get in between them and have 2 of them shoot at each other. So rather than shoot either individually, he's going to speed his, remove the need for him to shoot, and then also I don't know, save trash, I guess,
Yeah,
and also get into the cycle quicker.
I think that's the only time you can do that in this run, right? Or you
yeah,
can kind of do it in 14 hours, right?
I'm pretty sure that is the only time we do that. Yeah, you might be right about that
Okay.
one. I'm gonna get a fast forward here, and we're gonna use our rewind here. So, we got ourselves the golem here. So a golem works is that when you walk into its radius, it will build itself into a time monster, but what we can do is we can use a rewind and make it so that, well, it can't form because, we're kind of rewinding time. And those pieces as well are also worth 1,000 gold. 1,000 gold? I wish. It's worth 100
Whoa.
gold. Crazy. Yeah, they drop, so it's
Dang, dude.
basically 300 gold each. I really wanted another rewind, but it's fine. We can get some in the next level, and if not, we can also get some in the other level after that. Not a big deal. But we're pretty good. Main thing is we wanted to record. and at least one rewind. We're gonna go ahead, buy ourselves a time holder, grab ourselves 3 super bombs, and we're gonna do some really cool record strat coming up in this level.
This level goes really quick. Done properly.
I think you'd be the best one to explain the strat, Miku, if that's okay.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is that we're going to grab this barrel, and we're going to wait for this Molgon to make a noise. That's so when we know when to rewind. So he made the noise. That shows us that he's popped up. And now we need to time this bomb shot just right. So we got bad RNG here so that the Molgon kind of appears at the same time this Crenoblob despawns. But I'm going to try my best to try and get him. If the very least, I'll at least get most of the enemies down there. Yeah, so I missed one of the enemies. I assume it was the Crenoblob. But we got every single enemy except one. It's fine because we can just go jump down there after we're done with these 3 enemies. So while the record is going, we can actually go ahead and deal with these enemies. We can suck up these golem pieces because the record clone wasn't near the golem to spawn, so we can just suck those up for free. We can also suck up these dust herder balls. Now, the good thing is we can actually get rewinds, which is actually really nice.
Oh, heck yeah.
And
we get a retry if you want.
Nah, I don't need retries. Screw that. So yeah, this is the guy.
It ruined our day. Sad.
Yeah, kind of sucks. But, this is actually really good. So, we need 2 rewinds for the next level, but we can actually get a 3rd one, and we can just ride this back up. And then we can just go back to the end of the level. There we go. We just run up, and then boom. There's our goal.
Good save. Cool. Good save.
Thank you, RNGesus. There was nothing stopping this game from spawning 20 fast forward crystals in a row. Alright, this is like the master level of World 5. This is like, if you can do this level like really fast, it shows how good of a Blinx player you can be, because this is just, it is probably one of the most demanding levels as well. Okay, wait for this Molgon to pop up. And then I'm gonna collect these 3 trash, and then we're really set for time controls. The only thing that we really could desire is just more fast forwards, because that's going to help for the next boss and for World 6-1. That's right. Going to deal with these enemies, these 2 heavy logs for the what's it called? I forgot what they were called. Octoballoons. That's right.
Yeah.
There you go.
You play this game for
heavier enemies. There you go.
You play this game for thousands of hours and you still can't remember the names of some of the monsters.
It's okay, Dale. Your hands are like doing so much and your brain is playing chess. It's alright.
Okay, so this is where we want to use our rewind. So we use our rewind to bring the Molgon back up. We eliminate it with a heavy trash, we deal with these octoballoons, and then we suck up the golem pieces again. We're not letting this guy actually play the game, which is fine because we want to have the gold. Deal
Just bully him, it's fine.
Step on the button. Sorry, Daphne,
why'd you
do you
shoot
want to
that?
go ahead?
Why'd you shoot that fridge over there?
So we use this to trash stack on top of the spikes and to get a shortcut over here.
Ooh.
Saves a couple seconds.
Pretty cool.
Pretty snazzy.
Last room? No, I guess there's one spiker by the gate, but
Yeah, there is.
Do you think this would be an okay time to talk about the differences between Platinum Hits and the regular edition of the game?
I mean, yeah. Do you guys know all the differences? Or most of the differences?
I know a chunk of them. You can probably fill in after that.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the original version of the game, there are some spots where the Tom-Toms, which are the main bad guys outside of the time monsters in this game, would spawn. There are also some time monsters that would take more hits in terms of damage, like you need to shoot them just straight up with more trash. There are some trash and gold placements that are a little bit different, and in particular, the final boss, the boss rush right before the final boss is significantly more difficult for a specific reason that I won't spoil yet, but remind me to talk about it later. And then what did I miss?
I mean, that's basically it, really.
Awesome.
this boss is being sped up significantly by the use of this rewind. So what'll happen is you'll notice here these 3 little balls pop out on a hit. That's supposed to happen after every hit. So the game intends you to hit the boss, 3 guys drop out. You shoot the little guys. You hit the boss again, 3 more drop out. But by using rewinds, they don't drop out. And so, as long as Miku doesn't get hit by any of them during his rewinds and fast forwards, he can just shoot the boss and get through it much more quickly than otherwise.
Yeah, I believe that trick was found out by Commander Ducky, a really old runner. So God
what a
bless you.
legend.
It'll come.
Doing that boss normally is a pain in the butt.
It'll come back later. So each boss, there's a pair of bosses, I guess. So there's a similar boss for the end of World 8, and Kid Me would have definitely appreciated that trick there, where again using rewinds doesn't cause the little guys to drop out.
Very nice. Okay, so my time control list. I want to get a record, and I want to get a fast forward. But a rewind is also helpful. Alright.
Fortunately, you're getting a lot of slows. Lots and lots of slows.
The one time control that we do not ever need in this run.
Don't want to go slow.
Okay, so we're going to actually do a little bit of sniping before we go over. So I'm going to pick up this trash. Shoot this Chronoblob. Shoot this Chronoblob. Try not to get hit by the Tom-Tom that's stealing all my gold. Gonna snipe them again. And then shoot these enemies off in the distance. One of the cool things about this game is that you can shoot enemies in the distance. Like, you can do some really cool long-range sniping stuff. Okay. Open the door.
You snapping to those angles is really impressive, by the way, because those are not easy shots.
Oh, I've had a lot of practice on this level.
Ooh, I don't know if we talked about auto aim.
No, we didn't. Joe, you got
yes.
this.
Yeah. So basically, when you get close to an enemy, sometimes you can hear a little sound effect play, and you'll know that Blinx is essentially supposed to be locked on to an enemy nearby. It's usually for a pretty close radius in front of them. Now, it works pretty well when you're fairly close to an enemy, but once you get to a certain distance away, it can be a little finicky. And then for some reason, when you're using a fast forward as well, your aim just gets worse, and it veers to the... I forget if it's the right or the left more often for some strange reason.
I think it's the right. Yeah, it's the right.
If I'm not mistaken, the more reliable way to do this is to jump and then kind of steer yourself towards it. I mean, the auto aim will kind of take over from there, but like if you're walking on the ground and you shoot, I mean, it could go anywhere, it seems.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, speaking of the ground and shooting, Miku will jump for a lot of shots just for regular time monsters in this game because for some strange reason, and I swear to God this is probably not intended for the game, when you shoot while grounded, sometimes the trash will just get stuck on the floor, even if it's a completely flat floor, and then not hit the time monster. And it's very frustrating.
Yeah, some trash are more prone to getting stuck to the floor more than others. But I do think, yeah, it's definitely a mix between trash hitbox and just like the general like geometry of the floor. Oh, I'm about to get hit. Oh, we dodged it. Let's go.
Oh,
nice
one, gamer.
I don't know if you've shot a 16-ton weight, have you?
No.
Is this your first one's coming up here? Okay, so yeah, I think Miku might have touched it. So there's certain trash is 1, slightly bigger stuff, and the super bombs are 2, as well as spike bullets. But then these 16-ton weights, which you can't buy in the shop or get anywhere else other than just finding them, they do 3 hits of damage, which is useful because there are enemies that take 3 hits of damage. So
like
those, like this Chronoblob here. I believe the gatekeepers, some of them, they got the little spirits that fly out of those gates. Some of those are 3 hits, and those guys, their cycle, their AI makes it so they kind of just float around a bunch. So if you can take them out in one shot, it speeds it up a bit.
Oh yeah. Going back
Welcome on to chat. Welcome.
Oh yeah, on Ellen chat. Oh man.
That's all right. We miss you. We're glad you're here in chat. Anyway.
You're here in spirit.
You're here in spirit on.
It's all right.
One funny mechanic about jumping in this game is one thing that if you've ever played this game casually before, you will be super aware of it, but Miku manages to avoid it like a pro, is if you are falling as Blinx and there is no floor beneath you for a decent amount of height, Blinx will just go into a state where you cannot perform any actions and he just falls straight down. And you can't do anything about it.
Don't know how I missed that guy. Oh well, just Blinx things, you know.
Just
Minor
Blinx
gold strat here. Mika did a rewind after opening the chest, which means he gets to open the chest again for
God.
some reason.
So many greens. I'm greening out.
There we go. There we go. Rolling in records.
Alright. Trying to get this shot here on the Octoballoon. It's a little bit tricky. There you go. Usually the trash can get stuck if you use the big log to get that Octoballoon. But the car is usually the better option to do so.
Right there is where. Right there, if you weren't careful, is what Isner would say. You'd just go into this, well, a cat falling state, and you'd fall basically out of the level because there's no floor below him there.
Yeah. It's such a
Alright.
frustrating mechanic. It's like, why can't I just double jump? I have my double jump. Just let me jump.
Oh, Blinx.
All right,
Yeah.
boss 5.
All right.
Boss 5.
You're doing pretty good, by the way, Miku.
Don't tell him.
You roll. All right. So we have a Cropper again. Again, they come in pairs. So this was the World 2 boss. It's now a slightly tougher one and a slightly tougher environment for World 5.
And
You'll also
you're not going
notice-
to be doing an ATG to get more gold in this, are you?
No, I am.
Oh, you are. Okay.
Yeah. We will be triple duping.
So we are aided in that by as you can see 4 of every time control in this level. But as you said, yes, the gold duping with the alternate timeline glitch. What's happening here?
Honestly, I think Miku might be able to explain it better.
Oh, never mind. Sorry, Iku, what's going on here?
So basically what's happening is that the gold spawns from the boss, and when you use a record it and then it plays back, it will double the gold. But what we can do is we can actually triple the gold by using a retry, because retry and record are basically sort of the same way. Except this, with retries, you don't really have a record clone. But now hopefully I did this right. I kind of jumped off a little bit too early, but I'm hoping there's triple dupes. Oh yeah, we did it.
Let's go. Good work, Miku.
Awesome.
And
Clap.
yeah,
Clap.
we will be triple duping again in boss 7, just because they drop a lot of gold. There's different bosses are better suited to dupe gold, because some bosses will just drop more gold than others. Most notably boss 6 and boss 7, for some reason. Here we go.
Also, but doing that dupe does come at the expense of a retry. That was Miku's first lost retry of the run, actually. And casually, you can have up to 9 slots for those, which casually you kind of need it. But the speed run, they don't waste gold on those. You just got to play. You just got to fly through it and not get hit, I guess.
You gotta play hard mode.
You got to play hard mode. Excellent shot there. Clear.
Oh.
Super bombs just clear the room.
I think I will grab a retry just to be sure, because
Oh,
Let's
he's doing
go.
it.
we're
He's
doing,
he's
doing
getting
it.
2.
we're doing really well, but anything can happen in this game, and just having the extra lives really helps.
Murphy's Law is very strong in this game. All right, so one thing that is very important to note about every single world here in Everwinter is the floor is very slippery. Miku will be doing a very specific movement tech that you just saw, where when he's just in his normal standing and sliding state, if he goes too fast, he will just literally slip and fall and be unactionable and not able to do anything and completely vulnerable for like 2 seconds. And if he goes too fast into a wall or any other object that's in his way, he will bonk into it and also be unactionable for like 1.5 seconds. And that's terrible. And
Oh,
we don't
no.
we want to avoid that as much as possible. So, oh, you got the gold. Okay.
Yeah, nice.
Miku will basically be getting really close to his maximum velocity where he would slip and then letting go of the stick and then dropping his velocity a bit and then pressing on the stick again to get a little bit more velocity and just doing that over and over to maintain just the perfect amount of speed without slipping and falling. You'll see it again here.
Oh yeah.
It looks really funny, but yeah.
If anyone wants to know, the slip looks like this. Oh, that was the side flip. This is the
Yeah.
like a little. All right, let's play the game.
Hey,
Let's stop goofing around.
no more fun. All right.
Here we go. Probably the most
Oh,
one of the craziest levels in this game. 7-2.
yeah. Casually and for the speed run. Are you doing the showstopper?
Hell yeah.
All right. You want to explain it?
I'll I'll let my actions show what I'm doing. There we go. That's 7-2 showstopper.
What a gamer! What a gamer!
So what happens is that we use a record. We're basically just like going ahead into the level to like deal with enemies straight away, or like earlier. But it allows us to use our super bombs just like more efficiently and stuff. So then, if we use a record and super bomb, we can hit more enemies. We're gonna use another record over here as well, and we're going to use a
with that move. Miku's pretty well hidden all but this room of enemies in this level, so softening them up very quickly at the start, and then I guess there was a super bomb dupe earlier, which helps with getting to the super bomb. There's one right here. Yeah.
There we go. Trying to get the super bomb shot on these two enemies so I don't have to go back and deal with them. Now, I think I got both of them. If it says 6 monsters, then it means I got both of them. Yep. There we go.
Excellent, excellent.
This level is just very record intensive. Like,
this level's hard. Just straight up,
hard,
like
yes.
speed running and casually. I will say, after talking with lots of people in the Blinx Discord, this level is probably the single biggest roadblock to somebody beating this game. Just like as a kid or when they're younger. It took me, I mean, I'm not that great at video games, but it took me until I was like 12 or 13 to first beat this second stage of Everwinter. It is really tough. When you're playing this game casually, you'll often get to like the 10-minute mark, which is the max amount of time you can spend at a level before game overs you. And, it's just tough.
I think most people get stuck on the spike door area, where I was with that spiker. Because the
Yeah.
main thing is that you're supposed to use a pause to go through, deal with the spiker, and then come back out with another pause. But what I did there was I basically just allowed the spiker to just roll through the spike gate, because it has, it has invulnerability frames. And even if it didn't have invulnerability frames, it's not getting hit by the spike door. The only thing that can damage monsters in this game is just trash.
Yep.
Another big record coming up. I want to try and hit this roulette. Go, winner.
Excellent.
Chicken dinner, as they say.
Good.
Get the gold, and then I'm going to use these barrels to jump back up. I'm going to time my jump here. And then I'm going to... Oh, I had a piece of trash in my inventory. Did not mean to have that, but should be okay.
Whoopsie daisy.
I think you'll still be okay.
Yeah, there we go. Nice.
Clean. Clean.
That's a very hard
Excellent
record thing to do because you don't have a lot of a lot of room to move. It's very, very tight. I missed the spiker, which is fine. It's fine. It just means I just have to spend an extra 10 seconds just dealing with them.
Good dodge there. Shoot, I would not have dodged that.
Now,
truly, we're not a god gamer like Miku.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys. Oh god.
That does it for here. The last area is a pretty dense cluster of enemies, which means super bombs again useful.
There we go.
We're just gonna swap here, get this one ready to detonate.
Don't worry, that was on purpose. It's part of the strat that we're doing.
Is this first pause?
First pause, yeah. So I want to get.
Let's go.
I wanted to get 2 pauses because this is gonna be very useful for World 8, but I want to get 2 fast forwards because that's also going to be important for the next boss. But we will get more crystals in this next area, so don't worry. So what we're going to do, so the weird 7-2 glitch that we're going to do, I'm going to showcase it right now. So we're going to get this, unless RNG kind of messes me up. It's possible. Yeah, it did. So, so the gatekeeper fell into the water. And what that does is basically despawns it, and it doesn't allow it to die as fast. But because we did the glitch, it's not actually going to... So the way it works is that with the record, it glitches out and it doesn't get hit by the 16-ton weight. So what ends up happening is that there's this like ghost gatekeeper that exists. But the game still registers that it's dead, So it's like a really weird, funny like glitch that just happens. Okay, now I want to get maybe a fast forward. That's a lot of crystals.
Yeah, if you really do want to go see that glitch, that happened in the AGDQ run, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, you can go watch Miku's or Lotus's run at AGDQ, where that glitch happened.
There we go. We got the optimal time controls. I got a bit distracted, and what you can do there is that you can duplicate the super bombs that you have, so then we can have like 2 or 3 extra, giving us more of a profit. But I kind of like, I don't know, I kind of goofed. All right, now we're gonna be buying spike bullets. These do
Go.
Oh, here we go.
2 damage each, but they cost 400 gold. So you know, not as good as super bombs, but they're also not as dangerous. Hydrasaur, the 7th boss of the game. Once again, a lot of people do not like this boss.
Me included.
We're gonna use a fast
It's a
forward.
hard boss.
We're gonna use a fast forward to advance through this thing, because the way it works is that it reaches a certain HP threshold, and then it just starts eating the islands. But hitting it with spike bullets means it eats less islands, which means you'll be able to go through this boss much quicker. And the fast forwards just helps because you can just like, you know, it's free time save.
Really is, and you can tank that hit.
We're gonna be
Oh,
doing this.
speaking of, when he uses a fast forward, getting hit right at the end of the fast forward is very optimal because normally time controls have like a 2 to 3 second thing where it gives you a countdown before the game starts moving normally again, but you can just entirely skip that by getting hit.
We're
at
duping
the end of the
again.
fast
Let's
forward.
go.
We're duping
Oh, here we
again.
go. Yeah.
Plenty of retries.
Oh yeah, we're fine, and we can get a free retry here as well.
Yeah.
You should buy a retry holder in the shop if you have too much money.
Joel, you can leave the call now. It's all right, man.
Oh
It's all
man.
right, man. No retry holders in my house.
Once again, Miku with his strategy, making a fool of Kid Me. Because yeah, like this boss on original release is like 6 or 7 hits, and like there's like 6 or 7 islands. So by the time you get to the end, there's 1 island, and this guy's just making a fool out of you. Meanwhile, Miku's just spike, 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 and let's get out of here.
There we go. We're gonna swap out our sweeper now for a water sweeper.
Ooh.
So the main part about the heavy sweeper that we had is that you could sweep up trash really fast, and it could sweep up 16-ton weights. But in Forge of Hours, where we are right now, there is no 16-ton weights. Oh, there we go. The bomb's gonna hit.
There we go.
But and it also different sweepers deal with monsters differently. Just like you know, they'll deal more damage. So there's an enemy in this world called the Combustor. We saw it in World 6. With the water sweeper, it basically one-shots it, and just makes it a whole lot faster.
You don't know it's the Combustor because he's on fire.
Hard to miss. All right.
Hard to miss. You'd be like, oh, that's why the water does more damage. All right.
Oh, you want to talk about the Tesla coils?
Ooh,
It's your favorite part, right?
everything in Forge is designed to kill you.
Oh yeah, this stage is so just dangerous
Those
to exist in.
glowing hot, well,
Hash browns.
we call them hash browns. Trying to kill you. Tesla coil trying to kill you. Lava, kill you. There'll be spinning fans later on in gears, all of which are trying to crush you or hit you.
Oh my god.
And then the monsters aren't very nice either. So, but there are fewer. There's only 11 on this one.
And the Tesla coil hitbox is deceptively a lot larger than what it kind of appears in the stage. So it is very, very easy to get hit.
He's risking it all for this fast
I
forward.
really want the 2 fast forwards. I have time to waste. It's all right.
You do. You're cruising. All right.
Here we go. Nice.
Let's go.
All right, we're gonna do something called a record abuse. Hold on, I'm gonna get rid of this because I don't need this.
Ooh.
There we go. So let me do this first, and then. Oh, that's not what we want.
Oh man, that's all right.
Oh well. Damn, I missed
Almost.
anyway.
Oh,
Almost did it.
that's okay.
So record abuse is basically you. The way it works is that when the game checks for what's in Blinx's inventory, it'll go, hey, you know, this is all the items that you got in this level. But when you can actually end the level by going into the goal gate as a record Blinx, but the game doesn't check what's in the recorded Blinx's inventory. It'll check what was in the original Blinx's inventory. So you could use all of your super bombs as a recorded Blinx, but if you had 10 super bombs as the original Blinx and you went in, you're getting all those back, and it's just super nice. There's only a few set of levels that we can really do the record abuse. All right, thanks, Trash Hitbox.
Yeah, hitboxes are just janky in this game sometimes.
All right, we want to get record, and we want to get maybe another pause. Oh, well, that sucks. Well, no,
Oh man.
well, now I'm doing the stand of shame right now.
It's
Gotta
okay.
Restart.
We
Restart.
forgive you.
God damn,
No,
all
that's
right.
alright.
You're the boss.
Dude,
There we go. We'll use a fast forward here. Use another super bomb explosion here. Get all our
I got
crystals.
3 Octos and 2 Dusters, and now those guys have 1 shot, and room's done.
All right, that's it.
Simple as that.
It's just that shrimple.
Thanks.
Okay, Miku.
Lovely. Are you full on teas? It looks like you are. That's all right.
Alrighty, I want to get 2 more fast forwards, but I don't have enough slots. So what I'm going to do, we're going to be using 2 pauses anyway. So I'm going to wait until we use our second pause, and then that's when I'm going to grab, hopefully, 2 more fast forwards.
You had 3 pauses, Mickey. What are we doing? What kind of management is this?
I actually don't.
Pauses before, like, I don't know, at least around a year ago or maybe earlier. Like, they weren't really used as much in this run. I think that's a bit more of a recent development between you and Lotus, is adding those in and using them here in Forge, I think.
Thankfully, it doesn't
Is that
lose
right?
that much time. Like, we just figured out, like, hey, this doesn't really lose us much time, and it's also just safe. So it's like, yeah, why not? Well, it's technically faster to use a rewind, obviously, but that's also just incredibly just hard. Alright, I need to get this fast forward, but it's a couple of lightning bolts is stopping me.
You could use a pause.
Oh, hell
Could
no.
use a pause.
What do you think I am?
And that's 8-2. All right, 8-3. Well, this is the last standard level in the game.
This stage is trying to kill you
This is
so
like-
It
much.
is.
You'll see.
Forge
You
is trying to kill you.
spawn. You spawn in a bomb field. You'll see.
Mika will jump out of the
man.
way, but yes. All right. We're gonna do some sorcery here. Mika uses a super bomb to take out 3 heavy spike burrs, and the dust hitter turned around, shot 2 octos, dropped another one. That'll take care of that side of the room. He's gonna start on the side of the gate, and he's also gonna jump up to the 2nd floor.
And that's it. we just...
Casually, that's 5 or 6 minutes. I mean, and it's done in, well, game time 10 seconds.
Alright.
He's getting time monsters like he's cranking 90s in Fortnite. Am I right, Dale?
That's
Joel, where do you get these jokes? What goes on in that
here-
little head of yours?
Here we go. So here again, another challenge. We had a Tesla coil around one of the golems. Again, pause takes care of that. Take care of the octo. All that's left is 1 guy.
And then there's a lava seesaw here that we're usually supposed to use a record here to bring it down. But what we can do is we can literally just jump, use a fast forward, and just skip all of that. Say screw you, buddy.
And
The cool
because
thing. Oh, sorry.
I was just say, because there's still a bit of playback here, he had a little bit of pause, so he could sweep up the first piece, or maybe not. But in any case, we're through 8-3.
There we go. That was actually really
Less than
fast.
a
That
minute.
probably was gonna be.
Yeah,
that's
that
probably-
was less than a minute.
Pretty sure that's like a gold split. If I had my
Alright.
splits up,
Clean.
Lotus would be proud. Alright,
Lotus would be proud.
4 spike
For those that
bullets.
don't know, Lotus is the current 2nd place holder for
He's also-
any percent, and the world record holder for all medals, and the world record holder for every single individual level run in this game.
We mentioned, I was saying 4-1, there was a medal out of the way. There's 80 medals in the game, and so all medals is like an extra 20 minutes onto this run.
Oh,
Plenty challenging categories. Sorry, Mick, what do you have for 8 boss?
Well, so this boss sucks. Let me just say
It
that.
does. It sure does.
So there's a lot of reasons why we hate this boss in speedrunning. It's because that beginning roll at the start. So he will roll after each time he gets hit. The amount of times he rolls is completely random. So the most optimal thing you want is for him to only roll once. Let's see if he does it. Yep, like that. You want him to do that 3 times. But sometimes he can get really unlucky and he can roll like 10 times. He also just drops like not a lot of gold. So like for a boss that's late into the game like this, you think he'd drop like a lot of gold, but no, it's like 400 average.
This guy gets a.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna make a joke. This guy gets a D on the boss tier list.
Oh no,
for
he's
this
an
game.
F. He's an F, absolutely.
4-1 stopped me as a kid. This boss also stopped me as a kid because what'll happen is you'll see it. You see it here. Okay? Yeah. So this whole level, like, there's supposed to be drop down hatches that you fall into the lava. The whole thing's rotating. But if you use the rewind, that progression doesn't happen, and so he's just taking easy shots on him with the spike bullets and just again breezing through.
I need to go
did
to
you
the
just
shop.
enter the boss rush without going to the shop? Oh.
Yeah. No, my 7 seconds. That's alright.
Oh, we goofed. That's all right.
There we
Okay.
go.
When you enter the boss rush, would I have? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Wait, who was it? Was it me talking? Was it Dav talking?
I don't know what I said. Welcome, chat, to the boss rush. Thought this game wasn't unforgiving enough. Well, you get to do the 4 hardest bosses again. Back to back to back to back.
Now, one key difference between Platinum Hits and original release is in Platinum Hits, when you are doing this boss rush, if you screw up playing casually and you want to keep going but not have to reset each time, you can actually just hit pause, like the game's pause, not a time control, and then hit restart stage, and it'll restart you on the current part of the boss rush that you're in, even if you're at the very end. Now, that doesn't happen in original release, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it just spits you at the beginning, and it sucks.
Additionally, the trash so spike bullets are carrying over, and he also did that record abuse kind of to keep the spike bullet into the stage. If you hear the pain in my voice, it's because I grew up on original release and did not have that luxury.
It's also just not well known. People just don't know about the fact that that's a thing as well.
But very, very big reason why this game is, for speed purposes, run on Platinum Hits, because these spike bullets are invaluable when taking out these bosses.
Yeah,
and if you are interested in... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, especially in a boss rush, you want to have as many spike bullets as you can.
Mm-hmm. And if you are interested in playing this game and you own an Xbox One or a Series S or a Series X, you can actually access both versions of the game. If you change your region to Japan and then download the game, you will get the Platinum Hits, even if you change it back to your native region that has English. It'll still display English as you're seeing in this, but it is still technically the Japanese or Platinum Hits version of the game. Or you can just play original release if you want by just downloading the regular English version off the shop.
Nice thing with this game is that it is available, as you're saying, on the Microsoft Store. It's way back 2002 came out, right about as the Xbox was coming out, but freely available if you have modern Xbox, and for load times, these games are run on those consoles.
And if you have a copy of Blinx that ran on the original Xbox, you can just chuck it in your Series X or your Xbox One, and you can just straight up download the game.
Ooh,
it's pretty cool.
That's nice. I'll have to use that. I got my copy on my desk right here.
Nice.
Oh, pain, misery.
There we go. I actually messed up the record abuse. So I was supposed to do the record abuse for the Hydrosaur. I kind of just, like, forgot. But, like, it's fine. The main... Oh. I almost got hit there.
You can do a dupe here if you want to, right?
Nah, I don't need the dupe. It's more so we want to save the spike bullets.
Okay. And you got the TCs you need?
Yes.
Sweet. Moving into 8 boss again. Once again, making a fool of it.
Do you think we'd have some time to explain the lore of the game?
Yeah.
If not now, it's not going to happen, is it? Go ahead.
We got about, like, 4 minutes.
Yeah, so basically the lore of this game is Blinx is a time sweeper in a giant time factory that controls the flow of time in all sorts of different worlds and universes. So essentially, they just control all the time. And there is a gang of evil pigs called the Tom Tom Gang that wants to steal all the time controls to sell on the black market to make money. Now they do this to a point that disrupts one world so much that it shuts down the entire time factory, in particular their mother computer, and that's really bad. And all of a sudden everybody's panicking, nobody knows what to do, and then Blinx sees an emergency transmission from the Tom Toms saying, haha, we got you, and we captured a princess from this world. Blinx sees the princess and goes, oh my god, she looks pretty. And then he jumps into the world that's causing all the chaos and decides to save everybody because pretty girl. And yeah, that's the lore.
Beautiful story.
Yeah, there's not much of a story here. It's the main game is basically just all gameplay. They put all the budget into difficulty.
You'll see in the ending cutscene, though.
There's an opening cutscene and a closing cutscene. It's about all there is.
There we go.
And there is one after this leading up to the boss rush, and also one at the start of the boss rush.
Yeah. But by and large, not a whole lot tying it together.
The second game in the series elaborates a lot more on the lore and the characters.
Are we through this? Let's go. Final boss time. Miku's just going to load up on spikes.
Also, Miku, you're still under 57 minutes if you're curious.
Oh, Pog. We're getting sub hour, boys. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right, so
God
the first
gamer.
thing this guy does is take away all your time controls. Sad face.
That's it.
It's a multi-phase boss. If you didn't look this up on GameFAQs, I don't know how you got through it. I had to do it to get through it. So first, there's the opening attack. There's this phase right here. There's going to be two of them. Miku's breezing through once again, and we're already onto the final phase. So at this point, there's time crystals falling from the ceiling. Miku has to collect one of each power-up, activate it to inflict damage on the boss, and when he hits all those, the armor rocks of this guy will fall off of him. He'll float around, shoot him, and that'll be it. Right now, Miku is staying close to... Because if the boss moves further away from you, he can call time controls in, shake the ground below you, freeze things, all sorts of things to try and, throw you off. But let's see, we got one. There's our slow and pause. We're 2 for 5. Go ahead, Isner. Sounds like you had something.
I'm good.
Oh, you're good? All right, here's the record. That's our third. Rewind will be 4, and then Miku just needs to fast forward. So this excellent drop right here. I mean,
oh my
yeah.
god.
This is a really good, and that's all he needs.
That's
okay.
it. Wow, that was actually really good.
Yeah, so again, green dude will pop out. Final hit will be time, right, Miku?
Yeah.
Yeah, time will be coming soon.
So when I say time, get ready for it to stop the timer, obviously. All right, and time.
Holy cow, that was a great that was an excellent final boss.
That was a good run.
Oh, that was actually,
sub 2.
That's probably one of my best.
It was a very, very clean run. I'm glad we were able to show that off. I mean,
there's the girl that Blinx wanted to save.
I don't think you took a retry other than intentional ones.
Yeah. Oh wow, I actually played out of my goddamn mind. Let's go.
That was a
God
very
gamer. Woo.
very, very pretty. That was fun.
Yeah, that was actually really good. There was a couple times where I slowed down, but it was just to ensure that I had the right amount of time controls. Yeah, I guess that's it. If
Sub 59 in a marathon, that's awesome.
Yeah, thanks for everyone in the chat for staying, for watching this run. Thank you for, the Shots Fired Marathon, for having us on. Thank you very much, especially to Daft and Isna for coming on to commentating, because I know it is very late for these guys, and I appreciate them staying up or waking up just for a good old game from 2002.
Stayed up till 4:30 a.m. It's all right. This is fun. I'm glad. I'm wide awake right now.
It's only 1:30 for me. It's not too bad.
If anyone else is interested in Blinx content, there's the Blinx Discord, there's the Blinx fan site that you can go to, blinxtimesweeper.com. I also have a YouTube channel, which I basically just do upload a bunch of Blinx videos where it ranges from speedruns, facts about the game, general meme shenanigans stuff.
It's good. It's good stuff. You'll want to watch it.
It's all right. I mean, it's all right. Is there anything else you guys wanted to say before we head off?
Blinx is pretty cool.
Blinx,
Oh yeah, and stick around if you want to watch the second game in the series. It's pretty cool.
That's all right. I will be commentating for Blinx 2. So yeah, if you're not tired of Blinx, stick around for Blinx 2. See you soon.